Hey there, folks. Picture this, it's a chilly October night in Willow Creek, a little nowhere town in Virginia. The kind of place where the diner's the only spot open past 8, and everybody knows your name, or at least your order. I'm standing behind the counter at Rosie's Diner, pouring coffee for the regulars, when the rumble of motorcycles shakes the windows, and my gut tells me this ain't just a late-night caffeine run. My name's Ellie Harper, and what happened that night, well, it changed everything, not just for me, but for this whole damn town. See, I wasn't always a waitress, slinging meatloaf specials and wiping down sticky tables. A couple years back, I was a firefighter, one of the best in Willow Creek, running into flames while everyone else ran out. But that life ended after a warehouse fire took half my skin and most of my confidence, left me with scars I hide under long sleeves and a story I don't tell. The diner was my fresh start, a place to blend in, keep my head down, pour coffee, and forget the hero I used to be. But that night, when those bikes roared into the lot, I felt that old instinct kick in, the one that says trouble's coming, and you better be ready. The door chimes, and in walks this guy, tall, broad, leather jacket shiny as sin under the fluorescent lights, tattoos snaking up his neck like a warning. He calls himself Viper Kane, and his crew, maybe 6 or 7 guys, fan out behind him like wolves circling a campfire. The air gets heavy, like the whole room's holding its breath. There's old man Gus, our Korean War vet, clutching his coffee cup in the corner booth, his hands shaking just a bit. Hank, the diner's owner for going on 20 years, freezes behind the register, his fingers twitching toward the phone where the sheriff's number's taped. And then there's Joey, our 19-year-old cook, poking his head out from the kitchen, eyes wide like he's watching a movie he didn't sign up for. Viper doesn't sit, he prowls, scanning the room like he's looking for something or someone. Nice place, he says, his voice smooth but sharp, like a knife wrapped in velvet. Real cozy, real. Small town. He smirks, and it's not friendly. We're just passing through. Thought we'd grab some coffee, maybe a little information. Hank steps up, ever the peacemaker, hands open like he's calming a spooked horse. Welcome to Rosie's, gentlemen. Coffee's on the house tonight. What do you say? Viper's eyes lock on me, and I feel it, that cold crawl up my spine, like he's peeling back my layers without even trying. Coffee sounds good, he says, snapping his fingers my way. Make it quick, sweetheart. I grab the pot, moving slow, steady, my old training kicking in. Stay calm, assess, find the exits. I'm pouring when Viper leans in close, his breath hot with whiskey and menace. Word is, someone in this town's got something that belongs to me. A guy named Eddie Voss, maybe you know him, owes me 50 grand, plus interest. His eyes don't leave mine, like he's testing me, waiting for a flinch. I don't give him one. Don't know any Eddie, I say, keeping my voice even. Just pour coffee and wait tables here. He chuckles, low and mean. See, I think you're lying, darling. I think you know exactly who I'm talking about. The room's tense now, the kind of quiet where you can hear your own heartbeat. Gus sets his cup down, hard, his old voice cutting through. Leave her be, son. She's just doing her job. Viper turns, slow, his smile gone. Old man, you don't want to start something you can't finish. Gus doesn't back down, his eyes hard as steel. I've seen worse than you in foxholes, kid. I know your type. Viper takes a step toward him, and I move without thinking, sliding between them, coffee pot still in hand. More coffee? I ask, casual, like I'm not staring down a guy who could snap me in half. Viper pauses, his eyes narrowing, but he backs off, just a fraction. You're interesting, he says, almost to himself. Most folks would have run by now. I'm about to answer when his hand shoots out, grabbing my arm, not hard enough to bruise, but firm enough to make his point. Let's try this again, he says, voice low, dangerous. Where's Eddie Voss? My heart's pounding, but I don't pull away. I've faced worse than this guy, I tell myself. I told you I don't know him. His grip tightens, and before I can stop him, he yanks at my uniform shirt, tearing it open with a rip that echoes like a gunshot. The room freezes. My scars jagged, red, sprawling across my chest, and arms are out for everyone to see. I don't move, don't cover up. I just stand there, letting them stare, letting the truth hit them like a freight train. Hank's jaw drops. Joey ducks back into the kitchen. Gus whispers, "Holy hell, Ellie, you're the one from the warehouse fire." Viper's hand falls away, his bravado gone, replaced by something like shock. You were a firefighter? He asks, like he can't believe it. I nod, my voice steady despite the humiliation. Saved 12 workers from that blaze 2 years ago. Went back and won too many times. Got these as a souvenir. The diner's silent, the kind of quiet that feels sacred, like we're all standing on holy ground. Gus speaks up again, his voice thick. They said no one could have survived that fire. You carried those folks out through flames that melted steel, Ellie. You're a damn hero. Viper's staring at me like I'm a puzzle he can't solve, and for the first time, I see a crack in his armor, a flicker of doubt, maybe even respect. But he's not done yet. Hero or not, someone's hiding Eddie Voss, and I'm not leaving till I get answers. That's when Hank steps forward, his voice shaking but firm. I know Eddie. He's out at the old Miller place, couple miles down the road. But you should know, he's got a kid with him, a little girl, sick with leukemia. The air shifts again, heavier now, the mention of a sick kid like a punch nobody saw coming. Viper's lieutenant, a guy they call Blade, speaks up, his voice rough. Eddie's my cousin. Haven't seen him in years, thought he was long gone. Viper rounds on him, furious. Your cousin? And you didn't think to mention that. Blade's hands go up, defensive. I swear, boss, I didn't know he was here. Last I heard, he was running numbers in Richmond, then vanished. Viper's eyes narrow, but I cut in, my voice sharp, like I'm back in the firehouse giving orders. If you want answers, let's go talk to Eddie. No guns, no threats, just the truth. You want your money, you'll get it faster by listening than by breaking things. It's a gamble, but Viper nods, slow, like he's weighing me against everything he knows about the world. All right, hero, he says, almost mocking, but there's something else, their curiosity, maybe. We do this your way for now. 20 minutes later, we're on the road, me riding behind Viper on his bike, the cold October air biting through the jacket Hank lent me to cover my torn shirt. It's surreal, clinging to this guy who was ready to tear the diner apart, but I feel it, this weird trust forming, like we're both betting on something bigger than ourselves. The Miller place is a rundown shack tucked behind a grove of bare trees, a single light glowing in the window like a beacon. We park a ways out, Viper signaling his crew to cut their engines. No sudden moves, he says, helping me off the bike. Eddie's smart, probably knows we're here. Sure enough, a shadow moves in the window, Eddie Voss. Lean, tired, with eyes that carry too many years of running. Blade steps forward, his voice soft. Eddie, it's me, Jimmy. We gotta talk. The door creaks open, and there's Eddie, looking like he hasn't slept in a decade. Jimmy, he says, using Blade's real name. Thought you were dead, man. Hoped you were out of this life. Eddie's gaze shifts to Viper, then to me, and I see it, recognition, not of my face, but of the kind of person who steps into trouble instead of away. You're here about the money, he says, flat, like he's been waiting for this moment. Martinez says I stole 50 grand. Viper crosses his arms. Did you? Eddie shakes his head. I've got $300 to my name, all of it going to my girl's chemo. Martinez framed me because I caught him skimming from the Koreans. He's the one stealing, not me. From inside, a small voice calls out, Daddy, who's there? And my heart stops. It's a girl, maybe 8, wrapped in blankets, her bald head covered by a purple knit cap. Hi, she says, shy but curious, her eyes locking on Viper. Are you a giant? Viper, of all people, cracks a smile, a real one, and kneels down. Not a giant, kid, just tall. You like purple, huh? She nods, and for a minute, it's like the world's not falling apart around us. Eddie scoops her up, introducing her as Lily, not his daughter by blood, but the kid he's been raising since her mom died. Everything I've done is for her, he says, his voice breaking. Martinez's lies keep us running, keep her from getting the care she needs. That's when we hear it, cars, not bikes, roaring up the drive, headlights cutting through the dark like knives. Martinez. He's here, with a crew of his own, armed and ready to end this. Viper steps onto the porch, hands up, voice steady. Jimmy Martinez, time we talked. Martinez steps into the light, all charm and lies, looking like a guy you'd trust with your life savings. Storm, he says, smirking. Thought you'd have handled this by now. I step up beside Viper, my old firehouse instinct screaming. Problem is, Jimmy, you lied. Eddie didn't steal a dime. You've been skimming from the Koreans, and we've got the proof. It's a bluff, but I sell it, my voice calm, like I'm briefing a crew before a blaze. Collection slips, bank records, all showing you pocketed 40 grand over 6 months. Martinez's smile falters, his men shifting, unsure. Eddie steps forward, Lily in his arms, and the sight of her hits like a bomb. You framed me to cover your own ass, Eddie says. But I kept records, Jimmy. I've got proof you can't bury. Martinez laughs, but it's nervous now. You've got nothing, just a sob story about a sick kid. Lily looks up, her voice small but clear. Are you the bad man, mister? And the whole yard goes quiet, like her words stripped Martinez naked. Before he can recover, more bikes roll up the Koreans, their leader a short guy with scarred hands and eyes that don't miss a thing. Mr. Rivers, he says to Viper, we hear you found our thief. Martinez's face goes white. You set me up, he hisses, but Viper just shakes his head. You did that yourself, Jimmy. Time to face the music. The Koreans escort Martinez away, and as their taillights fade, the air feels lighter, like we've all been holding our breath for hours. 3 months later, Rosie's Diner's more than a greasy spoon, it's the heart of Willow Creek's comeback. We call it the Redemption Crew now, a bunch of misfits who found something worth fighting for. I'm no waitress anymore. I'm training to be a crisis counselor, helping folks navigate the kind of chaos I lived through. Lily's in remission, coloring pictures of firefighters in her dad's booth, her smile brighter than the new windows Hank finally afforded. Viper Tommy now runs a motorcycle club that builds homes for vets, not trouble. Even Blade's pitching in, organizing food drives for kids like Lily. Gus, bless him, mentors young vets at the new VFW chapter, his war stories giving them hope instead of nightmares. Joey's off to culinary school, his community garden feeding half the county. And me? I'm learning to live with my scars, not hide them. That night at Rosie's, we chose truth over lies, protection over revenge, and it changed us all. But here's the thing, was it justice? Letting the Koreans handle Martinez? Or just another kind of violence we passed off to someone else? I don't have the answer, but I want to hear yours. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think about justice, redemption, or what you'd have done in our shoes. And if this story hit you, hit that subscribe button, share it with someone who gets it. This town's proof that second chances are real, but only if you're brave enough to take them.